What's up, everybody? It's Unbraid Dotson. Before we start the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, and let's run this channel up. Now let's get into the video.
Stir the pot a little, shall we? Last Friday, 10 minutes before dismissal time, I decided to live stream my students helping me take my hair out. There was quite the discourse in the chat, which had people saying this was inappropriate and other people saying this was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with what I was doing, and people were just making it weird. I had a hair appointment immediately after school, and I needed my hair taken out beforehand. Would have taken it out the night before, but that Friday we had a camera crew coming in to shoot a promotional video, and I was one of the ones being interviewed. Actually, I asked about 4 or 5 of my over 100 best friends to assist me in taking my hair out, and they all agreed. This was at the end of class. I told them if we get one solid presentation in this class, I'll end class a little early, and they can have fun and play basketball, darts, or be on their phones or whatever. And during that time, my team would help me take my hair out. The point I like to make is, if I was a female teacher, those people wouldn't be in the comments saying, oh, this is weird, this is inappropriate. As me personally, I don't think there's anything weird about this. People are saying, oh, that's too intimate. To me, it's literally just hair. Some people have never had cool teachers, and it shows. I personally believe that building authentic relationships with students is paramount in being an effective teacher. I make sure my students know and can feel that I care about them. I take the time to get to know my students outside of academics, because caring for the whole child is what's important.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna just get right into it. If my daughter was in school taking out another grown man's hair, I'm gonna probably beat his ass. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna beat his ass, and because as a man, you supposed to you can say whatever you want, but I don't feel as though having young girls take out a grown man's hair, especially in school or at all, unless they your family members, should be. I just don't think this was appropriate. I don't think this was appropriate at all. I don't believe that a man should be having his hair taken out at work as a teacher with female students. Now, some may have their opinions on it. Some may, feel different about it, but me personally, I don't think this was okay, especially coming from somebody who has younger sisters or younger nieces or whatever. I wouldn't find this acceptable. Any father who has a daughter, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want your daughter taking out another grown man's hair at school. Now, let me say this. If it was a female teacher, she decided to have young ladies take her hair out, and my daughter happened to be one of it, now hear me out, I don't think that would bother me, because my daughter taking out another woman's hair, I respect women's femininity. I respect sacred femininity. So therefore, if my daughter were to be taking out another woman's hair, and it happened to be a teacher, and I knew about it, me personally, I would not have a problem with that, because they're both girls. Now, I hear some people in the comments saying, not the comments, but the people that I spoke to, saying that he was gay. I don't think sexuality plays a part in this type of situation. Your sexuality doesn't matter. It's you identify as a man, 1, and number 2, and you're supposed to be a teacher, bro. You're supposed to look after the kids, not use them as, a decoy for whatever situation you got. I don't think that this was appropriate. And you can argue with me, and I'm glad to have open discussions with anybody who feels opposite. But I'm just going to say that if this was my daughter, I would have a problem with this teacher, because I don't think that that's appropriate. Now, if you look at me, like, I have hair, I have braids. I have nieces and sisters that, decide to braid my hair, and they take my hair out, but that's family, like that's blood. Like my sister and my niece, they do my hair. So I wouldn't have them do it if I was on the clock, right? I don't think that would be appropriate for them to be at the workplace and take my hair out while I'm at work. And their blood. And even if I was a teacher and they were the students, I wouldn't have them do that then. To anybody who feels like what this man did was appropriate, I don't have a problem with anybody disagreeing with me. I don't have a problem. I'm all open for clean, honest discussion. I'm gonna say this, and for anybody non-black that's watching, this is kind of normal in the black culture. So having somebody take your hair out or whatever, this is normal. I'm just, for anybody who's non-black and never grew up around black people, having our hair taken out, whether you know them or not, for that type of favor is normal, okay? My opinion, now going back to everybody, is that I wouldn't want my child to do that for their male teacher, okay? That's just that. So even though as black people, we know we get our hair, I get braids, I get my hair taken out all the time. Even though as black people, this is what we do, and white people may not understand, or anybody, Asian people, Indian people, they may not understand, this is normal for our hair to be taken out. So let's clear the air with that. Now, I'm gonna get to this point. If this was a white teacher, a white woman first, if this was a white woman who had a certain type of hairstyle and young white girls were taking it apart or rearranging it or whatever, this wouldn't be that big of a situation. It wouldn't be that big of a situation at all. Growing up, I went to a majority white school. I would have to say 80% white, 20% black. 10% out of that 20% were either on the basketball or football team, if you want to be honest, or the track team. The white students would have certain type of intimate relationships, not sexual, but just more so like friendlier relationships with their teachers. And you've seen it all the time. You've seen it when there was prom. You've seen it when there was school trips. You've seen it when it was certain events or pep rallies at the school. The white students would have that type of relationship with the white teachers. So I didn't want to make this about a race thing. I'm just pointing out, what I see. And especially if I gave my opinion, not liking this, but also giving an opinion of what I've seen of the same caliber from other races of people. I'm saying that this type of thing wouldn't be as big if this was white students with their white teacher. It wouldn't be. I'm gonna just be honest with you. But I'm gonna say this for the sake of the video. If it was my child, I'm beating somebody's ass. My daughter shouldn't be touching no adult's hair. How about that? Especially at a place that I'm expecting for my child to be safe and be secure and looked after when I'm not around my child. So it's something that I see why it's controversial, but I also see why people aren't looking at it in other aspects or other situations. This is something that is seen frequently with other races, but when it comes down to us, it's a bigger thing, and I don't like that. Even though I don't agree with what that teacher did at all. I don't agree with it, and that never should have took place. And I'm trying to figure out why he even recorded it. That never should have took place. Me personally, I don't agree with what he did. But if this was any other situation, this wouldn't be as big. If this was a black woman and there were black girls taking out her hair, I don't think it would be that big of a deal. It wouldn't be a big of a deal to me, I'm gonna say that. But what I will say is, they don't stretch this situation too far. Have your opinions on it, but don't make it bigger than what it is. Because I think it starts to get into a distraction thing when you do it that way. But to close out this video, I don't agree with what this teacher did. I don't agree with what him recording it to show. I don't know. It doesn't matter why you're recording it. It doesn't matter why you did it. You never should have did it. But that's just my opinion on this video. Protect your kids. Watch your children. Yeah, it's getting crazy out here. The world is getting crazy. But I'm gonna close out the video. I love and appreciate everybody who watches and subscribes. This is Dondre Dotson, and I'm signing out.